Hey you guys, it's Justice, and I'm here with my very first review of an actual show, and it's a show that I love very much that I watched from season 1 on until now, and that is The Real Housewives of Melbourne, season 2, episode 1. This is the premiere of the very brand new season, and let me not keep you waiting. Let me just get right on into it. And we start off with Lydia, Jackie, and Chica, and they're having lunch at this fancy looking restaurant. Everyone looks nice, everyone looks beautiful, but it seems like they immediately start complimenting Lydia on her weight loss. And, they're asking Lydia, you look so beautiful. What did you do? You look fabulous, darling, and all those kind of stuff like that. And Lydia says, she's had lots of sex, along with her little exercise, and I guess the way she eats or whatever, and so forth and so on. Then it moves on to Chica, and instead of talking about herself, Chica talks about Jackie's psychic abilities and how she's really psychic, and her powers are strong. And she says that Jackie came to her and was like, something, you need to get something checked out. So she goes to the hospital, and right before she sees the doctor, Jackie calls her and says everything's gonna be fine. And I'm guessing that everything turned out to be fine. I'm like, okay. But I was like, Chica, but if she came to you and told you to go get yourself checked out, shouldn't she have known that everything was going to be fine? I mean, I don't know how psychic works. I don't know if you get to see one part before the other. But it seems to me, Jackie, that you should have already known beforehand that Chica was going to be fine, instead of having her do all this stuff, then to only tell her, you're gonna be fine, but after she's already made the doctor's appointment or whatever. But I'm leaving that alone. I do somewhat like Jackie. I don't dislike her as much as I disliked Lydia and Andrea, but okay. Janet calls and she's having a party. And of course they're all invited, but the question of the hour seems to be, is Gina invited? And Janice says that she's gonna extend the olive branch to Gina and invite her to her party. And I was like, good Janet. That's good of Janet for trying to make amends with Gina, extend the olive branch or whatever. And they get off the phone with that. They ask her if she has a boyfriend and all that other stuff, but that's not important to the story. Um, when Janet gets off the phone with them, Lydia says that she thinks that she's going to ride with Gina to the party. And everyone says, that's a good idea. So, Lydia's kind of, everyone signed on with Lydia and Gina going on to Janet's party together. We switch to Janet. Janet she's seeing her hairdresser, and she's showing dresses that she might potentially wear to her own party. And she mentions Gina, and she calls Gina up. Well, first she goes back and forth with her hairdresser whether she even wants to call Gina right now. And of course he's saying, of course, call Gina, And she ends up calling Gina, and Gina does not answer the phone at first, but Gina calls her right back, and she invites Gina formally to the party. Gina says that she was thinking about her, and just the other day, but Gina accepts the party invitation, and we then flip to Gina talking to her sister, and they're talking about Lydia. Because if you watch season 1, you recall that Lydia came on the show being friends with Gina for many years, which is one of the reasons why I was kind of upset with Lydia, because I felt like you had you've been friends with Gina for years, but you were so it seems like it was so easy for you to give up your friendship with Gina for Andrea's friendship or whatever. But that's season one. Um, she compares her friendship with Lydia to a broken glass because you know when a glass breaks, you can put pieces together, but you'll always see those fractured lines. And I thought that was a very smart and accurate comparison to compare her fractured friendship with Lydia to a broken glass. And we flip to Lydia, and she's trying on dresses and showing her mom stuff that she might wear to Janet's party. And Lydia's mom is not here for Gina. She feels like, are you sure you want to become friends with Gina, dude? Gina hurt your feelings, and Gina did this, Gina did that, or whatever. I'm just thinking in my head, Lydia did this, Lydia did that. If you watch season one, everyone knew that Lydia and Andrea were bullies. They were bullying Gina, literally bullying Gina. But she's her mom, so I guess she'll take her child side over Gina's side any day. But Lydia stands firm in taking the high road with Gina and trying to rebuild their friendship. And I respect that, Lydia. I do respect that. I'm so far liking Lydia this season. It seems like she, with anyone else, is really making an effort to become back cool with Gina. Um, After that, well, actually, I think I skipped Janet at the bakery. She made her cake. Okay, I skipped that. That's fine. Um, Now everyone's on their way to the party. We have in one limo we have Jack, Jackie, and Chica, and in the other limo we have Gina and Lydia. Um, Jackie and Chica, they're having fun, they're laughing, very friendly with each other. Like I said, it seems like Jackie and Chica have become really close this season. They've developed some kind of friendship outside of the show, which can be good, it can be bad. It's depending on which way you look at it. But they're having fun. Now we flip to Gina and Lydia, and it's awkward silence between them. No one's saying anything, and for a long time, it's just crickets. It's silent. And Gina breaks the ice in the most awkward way ever by asking Lydia if she's having issues with her husband Andrew. I'm like, Gina, I love you, girl. You're my favorite, but is that the first thing that you can say to Lydia to break the ice? Is she having problems with her husband? I was like, that's kind of messy, Gina. You don't ask someone that you've not been on the better terms with if she's having issues with her husband. But Lydia answers, and Lydia says, no, her and Andrew are fine. And that's that. We're at Janet's party now, and everyone's there except Lydia and Gina. And here comes Gamble. Janet says she's invited someone named Gamble. I forgot what she's how she met Gamble, how she was invited, but she invited Gamble nonetheless. And we flip to Gamble's intro scene, and Gamble is an art consultant. She's a free spirit, frolicking, Shakespearean lover. She loves her puppy, she loves her dogs, much more so than kids, she says. She's married to this older guy, and she says that it was lust at first sight. And I'm like, go ahead, Gamble finds herself the older men. And older men are interesting, so I'll leave that alone. I'm not hating on Gamble for who she's married to. And she's really close with her stepson. Her stepson to me looked like he may be gay, but I'm not sure. But nonetheless, they're really close. And it seems like her husband have a good relationship. They're on the yacht, kissing or whatever, and she seems really happy. I got really good vibes from Gamble. I'm liking Gamble so far. Um, Gamble comes to the party. And this is what pissed me off. Janet is talking about Gina. She's throwing shade, digs. She's talking about Gina in a negative way. And I'm like, Janet, you invited Gina to your party. You said that you were going to extend the olive branch to Gina. So Janet, why are you talking shit about Gina? She's not even there to defend herself. And even Gamble said that she's never had someone paint a picture of someone so horribly before in her life. And Janet has to physically stop herself to stop talking about Gina, which is a damn shame. The hate is real, you guys. The hate is real with Janet and Gina. Um, Gina comes in. Janet wants to again throw shade. She calls her a drag queen. But then she says in her blog, that's not a dig because Gina calls herself a drag queen. And I'm like, I can call myself many things, but you better not call me that. I can talk about myself, but don't you talk about me, Janet. That's how I feel about it. Um, so Gina comes in, she's talking to everyone greets each other, everyone says hey, but immediately it seems like that Gina and Gamble, they instantly click. And I'm like, that's good because, we're so used to seeing Gina with no one, everyone against Gina. So I'm loving this Gamble slash Gina connection. And Gamble's giving Gina all these compliments, and Gina's taking them, and they're feeling each other. Somehow Petty Fleur gets introduced. I forgot. I think Janet says they have a mutual friend or whatever. And Petty Fleur is completely, to me, I would say that Petty Fleur seems like to be an opposite of Gamble. Petty Fleur is more serious. Petty Fleur is a property developer. She lives in a luxury penthouse. Um, she's a hard worker. She's worked hard. She makes it a point to say that she's no kept woman, and I like that. She says that she came from nothing and built this empire. I like that too. I like people who are able, despite what they're dealing with uh, originally in life, are able to build themselves up and become something big. So starting from the bottom, to the top. I like that about Petty Fleur. And she says, "Call me Petty Fleur, call me Petty Fleur." And shout out to Chris, my friend Chris Adelaide from Twitter. He called her Petri dish, and I thought that was funny. But all jokes aside, when you have a funny sounding name, and people tend to mispronounce your name, and it seems like Petty Fleur might have a complex about her name being mispronounced. So she's very adamant on calling her by her name, Petty Fleur. Um, she Now, she comes in. Oh, I forgot to mention she has a partner and she has a son. Her son's cute. Her son looks up to her hardworking ways, and Petty Fleur wouldn't have it any other way. She works hard to set a good example for her children, her sons, whatever. Now, at the party, Petty Fleur kind of rubbed me the wrong way. I like so many things about her, but she's shady. She was kind of throwing digs. Like Rare, she was kind of throwing, the cards were out when it came to Gamble, slightly. Um, she says that she wouldn't have worn that dress or those earrings that Gamble had on. And I'm like, okay, it can be shade. It's kind of shade, but it again, it's her personal opinion. She said it in her confessional, so it wasn't really too detrimental to Gamble or whatever. But from the previews, I'm willing to do a prediction and say that Petty Fleur may become Andrea 2.0. That's one of my predictions. And another prediction that I forgot to mention is Gamble says, here we go. Gamble says that she does not believe in psychics, and we all know that Jackie is a psychic. I'm willing to bet, prediction number two, that there's going to be a Gamble versus Jackie. A psychic and a woman who doesn't believe in psychics, they're bound to clash, in my opinion. Um, the party goes off really nicely. No one really gets into anything. No one gets into the arguments. Everyone's talking. Everyone's positive. Janet's son comes. She's happy about that. La 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 la. We end that day. Now, the next thing we have Gamble meeting up with Gina. Now, to me, from my opinion, it seemed like Gamble just liked Gina, and she was just giving her compliments because she liked her. Now, the gift that she gave her, to fend off the evil woman, that was a bit side eye-ish. Like, are you giving her a gift and you just met her? But I'm willing to leave that where it is. Gamble says that the other woman was talking about her, and think that I don't think that was messy on Gamble's part, but I definitely think that Gamble should have been more specific in who was talking about her. Jackie was talking about you. I mean, not Jackie. Janet was talking about you. Was talking about Gina, not anyone else. Jackie said on Twitter to Gamble, "I was not talking about you. It wasn't me." And on Chica's blog, because I read Janet and Chica's blog, Chica said that she feels like Gamble telling Gina that was stirring the pot, and Janet says that she feels like Gamble telling that to Gina was Gamble licking Gina's ass. Those were Janet's words. I just felt like she was being nice, but she did come on too strong. Either way, it either way you look at it, it happened. And Gina says that she's keeping her eye on Gamble and the other ladies because who wouldn't when you've been through what Gina's been through? Her trust has kind of been tampered with as of what happened with season one. Um, the last scene, Janet once again pisses me off. I'm giving Janet a strike one, 3 strikes, and Janet, you're on my bitch list for this season permanently until otherwise. Janet's being messy. Janet meets up with Carlos, and I don't remember if I mentioned Carlos until now, but the first time she met up with Carlos, he was giving her all these compliments and how she can have any man she wants and blah 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 blah, whatever. Well, to this meeting, she's being kind of mean, shady, messy towards Gamble. She asked Carlos if he's ever heard any rumors about Gamble. He says yes, and she says she's heard rumors too, and we don't know what the rumors are until the next episode. So that's it. Before I go, I will be reviewing The Real Housewives of New York. I'll be reviewing RuPaul's Drag Race, and I'll be reviewing Orange County, of course, when it comes back. And I think I'm going to review Married to Medicine and Blood, Sweat, and Heels as well when they come back. So, like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you. I will see you guys later. Not see you guys later. You'll hear from me later when I do my next reviews. Deuces. Peace.